Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair. Calm down and get your teeth to get at the Sci-Fi Center. We got almost everything a geek could want at the Sci-Fi Center. You name it, we got it. Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and everything in between at the Sci-Fi Center.
Happy Monday, if there is such a thing. Welcome to another late night screening, whatever we want to call it. We're up to episode 7 and 10 of Netflix original series Daredevil. This
7 and 8,
7. What did I say?
7 and 10.
Yeah, no, we're not. That would suck to just go 7 and then
Skip
bucket
through,
here's
yeah.
10. This episode's pretty important. It introduces a very important character. If you are a Daredevil fan and have read the books, you'll know just how important Stick is to the Daredevil mythology from Frank Miller on. He's not only important to Daredevil, he's going to be important to a character, albeit mishandled character, but a very important character coming up pretty soon. But like I said, Stick is not to be fucked with. This guy is they nailed his exact appearance. If you see how Frank Miller and John Romita have drawn Stick in their stories, Scott Glenn looks exactly like him, the clothing, everything. So this episode is aptly titled Stick, and we're going to go ahead and get started because it's pretty late. And for those of you Patreons who want to follow along, the link is in your in the posting there. And for some of the other ones that are not on that, you've got your link in your box if you want to be there, and you are one of those people if you want to join in. All right, here we go. I am through my first commercial, so we're starting right at zeros. All right, and I'm going to count us down. Oh, hold on here. All right. Let's make sure that I have, because this is weird because we're not doing it at the store, so it's like I got to set up sound differently.
This?
Stop calling her that because that's creepy.
Why is it creepy?
I don't know. It just sounds. It's creepy. The whole thing is just creepy.
Okay,
Stop
is this okay?
No, because you're putting things in my head that had to have taken place that are just wild. It's just that's not. It's wild.
She's my long lost sister. That we've established that she's a year younger than me, so it's like, I mean, the baby.
Mr. and Mrs. Curran, if you're watching this show, are you okay with this? You okay with your son basically saying, "Hey"?
They are. They definitely are. It's like just like Mr. and Mrs. Pritchard are.
Oh yeah. Now it's weird. Stop. Now, all right, stop. All right, hold on. Gotta stay focused.
By the way, the snow pretty much melted here, so it's like we're
our rain never came either, so that was a fraud.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, again, it's so infrequent when we get snow in Savannah that I mean, you know, we might. I would be surprised if we get like another like you know, like just a like winter, you know, just Wonderland moment.
I lifted my
For the-
moratorium on the rain because I wanted California to get some, but I don't need it here. But they got it in California though, so we didn't need it in Vegas. I know about the drought, guys. I just want to make sure my sound's all right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Well, since this is the episode with Stick, and yeah, I mean, Scott Glenn was just about the best casting you possibly could have gotten for this character. He was previously played by Terrence Stamp in the Elektra movie. That was bad casting, but it's just a bad movie.
There was no, I mean, like I said, I disagreed with Kingpin casting, not the talent of the person, but everything else was all right. Jennifer Gardner, she got that role because of Alias.
Yeah. Well, I mean, her best moment as Elektra, I think everybody probably agrees, is in Deadpool Wolverine.
And that's not Elektra, by the way. That's that Elektra from that movie. I hope they nail Elektra one of these days. I mean, I really hope I would like to see it with the current actress. They actually,
Elodie Young.
Yeah, do Elektra. They have not done Elektra yet.
And she does not come in until season 2, by the way. Everybody wondering, but yeah, just bring it back to Stick.
We'll be there next week.
Scott Glenn. I mean, it's about the just flawless casting. I think most people agree. So William, maybe to kind of give everybody a little bit of just like backstory on Stick. I mean, obviously he's Daredevil's, and that goes into this episode. He's Daredevil's, martial arts, his ninjutsu mentor. But he's quite a quite a character himself in the comics. He's 90 years old, but he's again, you don't that doesn't really
he doesn't age that way. Oh wow. Yeah. I forgot this scene.
Well, and this is why you don't mess with this 90-year-old dude.
Yeah, this
God,
guy.
You can see bone right there.
Yeah,
this show didn't hold back. Well, they pay attention to that thing about the black sky that does play or that they're setting up what role that plays in Daredevil season 2 and eventually in Defenders. Daredevil, and it was bad. It was not good. It wasn't good. I'm sorry, Aaron. I did not like that at all. It wasn't Catwoman bad to be clear. And really, it's not even like it's not like offensively terrible. It's very forgettable mostly as the Elektra movie.
All right, so Stick is stop sniffling. Stop it. Stop it. Everything that Daredevil and Elektra can do, Stick can do it better. He's just that guy. He has his own organization that he ran. He went up against the Hand. The Hand, and they, depending on what stories you read, the most dangerous martial artist in the world, Stick can hold his own against any of them, and in mystical fashion. He is blind.
Yes, but he has kind of has the radar sense, doesn't he?
He has the radar sense, but it's not like Daredevil's, because Daredevil's was caused by radiation and radioactive. His is more of a discipline, I think, from what I've always read. But he's blind as a bat. Don't fuck with him though, because you get it. This guy right here, this able-bodied guy he just cut down that was armed. Stick had no problems with him.
Yeah, you put me up against Stick. I got no chance.
Not Daredevil.
Daredevil, Iron Fist, Shang-Chi. It's like any martial artist in the Marvel universe is like he can definitely hold his own against them. And this is actually the only episode of season 1 that Stick is in. He has a much more prominent role in season 2 and also in Defenders,
which we will not be watching, by the way.
I'm just mentioning that he's there. So that any long lost siblings of mine can like check out like the full Daredevil picture.
Just put that shit in the links.
And also get the Iron Fist, the beginning, as I say, skip season 1, beginning of the Iron Fist picture, Aaron.
Brad. I was gonna go all show without it, but
got it wrong, man. You should have put the one that has like the green light where I win $10 million.
Yeah, okay.
We should get that in there. We should like put that in there for like somebody like makes like a really awesome point, like I do.
I'll have to find the right one. Yeah, it'll never be used for you, but I'll have to find one. Yeah,
come on, there's gotta be one for that. But anyway, also bringing it back to what William was saying a bit ago about Stick's backstory, and I mentioned this in the previous, I think, watch on we did. Stick, he is part of a, the Hand is, the kind of like the ninja villains of the Marvel universe. There's another group called the Chased that,
That's his.
yeah, that's the part that Stick is one of the leaders of that. Elektra's, kind of affiliated with it. Daredevil is loosely connected to it.
He's by default. He's by default because
and they're the quote unquote good ninjas. They oppose.
Yeah.
And
by semantics, I guess, because they're not really.
Relatively speaking, they're the good ones.
Yeah, in comparation to the Hand, or just a bunch of
they're not trying to wipe out civilization or anything. They're not. Has Shang-Chi and yes, they have many times. Well, they were both created, in the 70s. When during this, I mean, when after Enter the Dragon, when like martial arts films became popular in the 70s, I mean, Marvel wanted to cash in on that, so they were both created. To really dive in. I mean, Shang-Chi, he is like Marvel's Bruce Lee. I mean, it's like,
yeah, he was based on a master of Kung Fu. He was literally based on him to take up. It just never caught on though. The problem with Shang-Chi just never.
Yeah.
Never bought the fucking book, dude. I don't know how many times they canceled that damn book.
Yeah,
Master of Kung Fu got canceled. Marvel Comics Presents got
Yeah.
He didn't get canceled, but they moved him out of it.
Because I've read those, is like they had some good runs of those in the 70s. And then like even Iron Fist, like he had his own book in the 70s, and then they teamed up, he and Luke Cage and Power Man and Iron Fist.
It was about to get canceled. So, but Stan Lee's like, well, why don't we add this? And then they put them together, and then they had the Heroes for Hire.
But yeah, that's and now Iron Fist also has had his own book fairly frequently, since Immortal Iron Fist started in 2007, which I was like, that's where I really started reading Iron Fist.
I'm sorry, but Iron Fist's sole purpose for me is Iron Fist number 14, the debut of Daredevil, because the comic itself was just really can't really catch. It's like Master of Kung Fu. I think the biggest problem with Master of Kung Fu is the same problem you sometimes have with Daredevil. The martial arts just doesn't come through.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I loved about you. Go back and like read the Immortal Iron Fist run, because that's the thing I really loved about the artwork on that. They made it have like almost like a Chinese sort of like.
They did the best of it, but it's really tough.
And they also did. There was another run they did. The Iron Fist. It was a miniseries. Iron Fist Breathless is what it was called. I think it was like 2004 when that came out. That was drawn like a manga. So,
reading Kung Fu was just tough. I just put the link, the Wikipedia link for Stick into the chat for those of you who want to do your own.
A lot of Iron Fist talk in here tonight. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, because one of our hosts, is bringing it up.
I'm a fan of the character. Come on. So okay, but anyway, bring it. Yes, Aaron. They have interacted many times in the comics. Iron Fist is like he's to bring it back to William's point. That's like he is an associate and an ally of Daredevil, but he is closer with Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
and he's really close with Luke Cage. I mean, Luke Cage is his best friend.
Yeah, and that's when they killed him in another fake comic book death when they killed when the dumbest death. I'm like, what?
Well, he had cancer, and he used it because he has his ability to use his chi. He had cancer, and he uses chi. He focuses chi to cure the cancer. So
I remember Power Man's hitting him in the chest. Wake up! Like, oh,
they had on. I remember on Luke Cage, they had that one part where he's like on the run, and he like runs in this family's like backyard, and he like takes some clothes off the clothesline, and it's basically like his 70s costume, and he looks in like the driver's side window of a car, sees reflection.
Remember his little goofy headband that he had?
Yeah, he has a tiara. Basically that's what it was, and he's like, "You look like a damn fool." He takes it off because, like, yeah, I mean, it's an Easter egg, but some things don't translate to live action. Iron Fist is like, I mean, look at the only one, and they kind of do this in season 2, because his costume is like, it looks great in comics, but you could never do that in live action with his costume.
No, his costume is ridiculous. His chest out. I mean.
Well, yeah. and that's when Immortal Iron Fist they really they started modifying it. They had and they had like a full green suit and the ninja boots and the mask and all that, and then they had their dragon on the chest, and that was when they kind of modernized them. And then they did the update where it was the white and the yellow one, and that's my favorite one he's had so far. And they kind of have that in season 2 with the Iron Fist and Davos fight. So I've talked about Iron Fist a lot tonight. I love my boy Danny
Okay,
Rand.
for those of you who need to see just how fucking lame this was, here you go. Here you go. All right, judge for yourself.
Oh yeah, that's well, you know, again, that's what he wears on Defenders basically, and yeah. So that's it. I cannot countenance.
Lame. I'm gonna have the words that spell out lame and a buzzer in between.
This is like my favorite version of his costume right here, and I really hope when they hopefully bring all the characters back.
See this trap. This is the only person that would have been able to pull this off on him.
Yeah, this is kind of his like modernized suit. That's the best one in my opinion. I mean, come on, look at that. And of course, we have the new Iron Fist, who's he was the successor to Danny Rand. He has a bit of a different costume.
Oh my god! Take that. That looks like in Power Rangers, Nightmare Gone
That looks
wrong.
Glorious. I first saw that, I was like, "Holy shit, that is cool."
Looks like Power Rangers just when somebody smoked weed on Friday.
And this is what they do on season 2, and
that bad.
But
dude.
again, it's like it's hard to translate. His
Because
just like Luke Cage's.
It's a lame character to begin with, and now you're adapting a lame character.
Okay, I decided to take over the show tonight
you can't fix lame. You just can't.
He can focus his chi into his fist man and like strike and take out dragons with it. There's if that's lame,
even as you explain that, it sounds lame.
If that's lame, it's like I don't want to be cool.
No worries there, Bradley.
Aaron's like, Aaron, I'm gonna get you started on Iron Fist comics, and it's like to skip season 1.
That's so sad. That is so sad that you have to say that. This meal is great, but just wait till he brings out the other plate because his first plate tastes like shit.
But the second plate is filet mignon. So
but I'm getting up and leaving. You give me some pig vomit, and you want me to stay around for the main meal? Fuck that, I'm out.
Point is, Danny Rand is awesome. Just skip season 1.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
White.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, so now we're at the. Okay, now we'll bring it back to Daredevil finally.
But
this, I really like this part where because this is the flashback to when Stick and Danny have kind of their first meeting in the park, and Stick, you find out he's he is what's the best? I don't know. What's the best way you describe his personality? He's definitely a straight shooter.
He's crass. Crass is the word. CRASS. Crass. That's what he is. Hold on for a second. This is really important, guys. This conversation is really kind of.
And by the way, he does establish that Stick, he was born blind, unlike Matt. He was born blind. He is, Aaron. Yes, he is.
pregnant. Mm-hmm. Ooh. All right, I'm out of commercials, so pause for those of you who are watching along and you don't have commercials, and I'll let you know when we're coming back. Yeah, his portrayal here, and you don't have commercials, and I'll let you know. I'm going to mute you for a second, Clint. His portrayal of Stick is one of the wonderful things about this series. It's how I envisioned and how that him being, it's how I envisioned him sounding. I imagined him sounding. He is Stick. It's like they looked at John Romita, they looked at Man Without Fear, that version of Stick, and they just took him into the into this incorporation, and I love it.
Yeah.
Like I said, they either nailed it with the characters and their portrayals of the characters, or they didn't. There's no middle ground here when it comes to the show.
Droga asks, "Hey Brad, can we do a watch?" Well, I don't think I'm gonna talk William into that. And by the way, Stick has a very, very minor role in that episode where there's a flashback to Matt's like, "Oh, I went blind and then I developed the radar sense," and he trips and like Stick is like way more personable version for what little time he has. He's I met a mysterious man named Stick, and Stick is like smiles and like offers him the hand out. It's like that is not Stick's personality at all. But it's a kids' animated show. That there's blaxploitation. Do you feel there's also there was also an Asian exploitation too?
Yes.
Oh hell, absolutely.
Especially in the 70s. You had 70s and mid 80s, but early 70s, basically.
Yeah, and you still kind of see that. Kind of harken back to here and there, like with Black Dynamite and Outlaw Johnny Black. The Michael J. White did.
All right, guys. Commercials over. And we're going to resume. Oh. What's up?
I stepped away for a second. So, what's your timestamp?
My timestamp is going to be. Oh, your sniffle just drove me off.
Yeah.
Let's go with 1804.
Okay.
So, 3, 2, 1, resume.
Do you think what kind of odds would you give to that we'll see Stick come back?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah, definitely. There's way more story to tell for him.
Yeah. Well, and for I mean, since we're not doing the watch party, I suppose it doesn't really matter as a spoiler. But he ostensibly dies in the Defenders. But
that they didn't need to know that.
We're not doing the watch party. It's like what?
That doesn't mean that they aren't going to watch it on their own.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Aaron.
Well, and everybody else who might be watching this later on.
Well, again, the show also came out 8 years ago. So.
I mean, yeah, but once again, a lot of people have not watched the show. I mean, wow,
well, okay. That aside,
you have a magical power for this shit.
That aside, you think it's it's a certainty that we'll see Stick again?
Yeah, because
do you
they
think
don't need to. Him dying, obviously, if you know the character, him dying doesn't mean shit. By the way,
yeah.
That doesn't mean it means
in general doesn't mean shit in
comics.
comics.
In comics, but these particular characters, yeah.
Do you think we'll see him in Born Again? Like he might have like a secret. So you think this season we'll see him in Born Again?
Yeah,
it's like it's a secret appearance that they're keeping under wraps.
Either that or a flashback. I don't know how, but I think you will see him. I think you will see him.
And there's something else I'll share here, particularly for Aaron, since she gets it, of course.
You can DM her, right?
Look who was posing as Daredevil during Civil War.
Oh, Jesus.
Because Daredevil had to go off on like a kind of a legal assignment. So Danny Rand kind of filled his role. So he's basically like Iron Devil, quote unquote, during Civil War. Actually, William, now that I think about it, too, speaking of Civil War, do you think that because of like its particular like when it came out, MCU wise, like and when they hadn't introduced they hadn't properly integrated Daredevil and were like really all the kind of the full character roster in there. Do you think that in hindsight may have hampered Civil War a bit?
No, because the main kind of characters, yeah. I think he was having a problem with his internet.
Yeah, because it's a much darker story in the comics than the movie version. I actually kind of feel like, I like the movie overall, but I feel like it's actually kind of really been forgotten.
That's an Avengers movie. Civil War wasn't an Avengers.
Oh, it's Avengers. It should be called Avengers Civil War.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best. It's the third best or the second best Avengers movie.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh, here. Who else is in here? Oh, look who's here.
What would you dare the devil to do? I would dare him to bring Iron Fist into Born Again so that I can have the last laugh with William.
Yeah, just watch this shitty show. I mean,
have you even seen season 2, man?
I got a couple episodes into it, and it just didn't grab me.
That season, Aaron, you have to trust me on this. I'm your big brother, okay? Like bring it back to Stick and all of them. Though, it's like, who do you think we'll see first return? Do you think we'll see Stick or Elektra return first?
I think you'll see them both return in the same episode.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. That's just my guess.
Yeah, because I never thought that was it for Stick either. But of course, then we also didn't know at the time that Marvel Netflix had about a year left before it all started getting canceled. Then we had this whole kind of moratorium before finally kind of started seeing the beginning of the return with Born Again coming up. Expensive shithole. Also, like going now with the way that the show portrays Matt's relationship with Stick, that he is a mentor to him, but it's also Matt's gone out of his way to kind of distance himself from Stick and the chase. So
because they're killers.
Yeah.
Killers, so
well, it's like
you can't be associated.
So with like what maybe kind of shine a light for everybody. It's like how just in general, like how well does the show like translate their relationship from the comics?
I think this is one of those things that they do nail, and they do nail it pretty good because they go on different paths and they show you that, but there's a line that, like I said, Matt has that line he won't cross. Stick that had no problem. He just took a guy's head on the hand off with no problem.
Well, there's also, Matt, Yeah, I mean, because Matt is, there's a lot of contrarian kind of elements to his persona, but one thing about him that Stick is not is that Matt is a very much a devout Catholic, and that definitely guides a lot of his.
Well, you got Catholics that kill, so.
Well, yeah, well, Matt ain't one of them.
Yeah, the mob. I mean, there's a lot of
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
How long ago was that? Like 800 years ago.
Brad, in all my travels around the world, people have not changed.
By the way, guys, if you're also with how much we're kind of playing up Stick's fighting ability, if you're wondering if those of you who haven't seen the show, if you're wondering if we see any potential like Stick versus Daredevil fight scene, I'm going to plead the fifth on that for the time being.
I watched Stick and I was like, okay, great. And then I watched the next episode today. I was like, huh, I definitely have a different title for the episode.
See, they just had Aaron right there. He was that. Aaron was that kid's double there for that kid. So we never knew now. He's doing all those kicks. That's Aaron right there.
And missing on all of them.
No, but that's why they're so clean, because it's Aaron. I learned a lot since you've gone. Like, what? You're a dick. That's a good line.
I definitely liked the second episode better than this one.
I think this is probably one of my favorite episodes, actually, of season 1. And a lot of it's because I really like Scott Glenn as Stick. Training scene, yeah. That's another good thing that they really do. I mean, they got more real estate, they got more runway to kind of emphasize, because it's a show compared to a movie, so they got more runway to emphasize the training. But that is something again, I keep saying with William, it's like, don't get me wrong, the movie is not as good as the show by
The
100 miles.
The movie's not good at all.
it's redeemable. Okay, it's not
No.
as good as this by 100 miles, probably 500, but
it's not redeemable. And the better the talent that was in it, the more irredeemable it is. But
It's okay to be wrong, Brad, about the favorite episode. It's okay.
I did a piece actually where I break it down like the 7 most important episodes to revisit before Born Again, and we already watched one of them, which is Cut Man. I'm gonna go and pull it up again, just gonna show everybody. Yes, and this breaking down the 7 most important episodes to revisit before Born Again. Yeah, we already did Cut Man earlier. Next one after that is the season finale of season 1, so appropriately titled Daredevil. New York's Finest. That's the Matt and Frank Castle kind of rooftop debate one in season 2. Good Day or Cold Day in Hell's Kitchen. That's the season 2 finale. Resurrection. That is the season 3 opener. Devil You Know. That's like really the first big confrontation between Daredevil and Bullseye in season 3. That's episode 6, season 3. And then New Napkin. That's the finale of season 3. And of course, I had to put that one there because it's like that's the last time we see Daredevil and Kingpin together before we get to Born Again. So of course you got to watch that one before you get to Born
commercial.
Again.
Hashtag Brad the spoiler.
I didn't say anything about what happens, and I just said it's the last. I mean, yeah, goes without saying. Come on.
Let's keep the
I wonder
future.
if I'm ahead.
Let's keep the future a little bit under wraps because, like I said, a lot of these people were out of commercial, by the way, guys. So I'll let you know when to come back in from the pause. A lot of people have not watched these shows, man. That we may be the introductory to them to these shows.
Wonder if Tom Holland. I doubt it. Well,
No.
I mean, I see you're getting that though. They're kind of like the idea, like flipping the whole No Way Home thing, where it's like, okay, now Spider-Man makes a cameo to Daredevil. It's like that could be interesting. It's like that's a cameo I'm not necessarily betting on though. So it's like if I had to guess, it's like it's any cameos you see are going to be like characters that Daredevil interacted with on Netflix. And then probably, I mean, maybe like because they're already getting ready to film season 2, so maybe that's where you might see like the next time Spider-Man interacts with Daredevil.
Hello, Music Man. Are you guys only on episode 7? Yeah, that's a lot. Damn, dude, we only started a week ago.
Yeah, we got 5 left, and it's like we'll be done
space.
within the week for season 1. William was actually telling me like if we got time, and it looks like we probably will. He wants to see if we can like make it through both seasons of The Punisher before we get to Born Again 2.
At least one. I think we can do at least one for sure. But I think we could possibly put in 2 depending on how we bulk them up.
Who helped me? Nobody helped me. I wrote it myself, man. He's talking about who helped me. I mean, it was. I mean, having the information on the internet about which episode was which and which one was titled. I mean, that kind of helped me. But I mean, that's the people, editorial, I guess, helped because they edited it and published it. But that's about it.
All right, we are back. The timestamp is going to be 30:22. So we're going to get back into it in the count of 3. 3, 2, 1, play.
By the way, interesting, a little bit of trivia with Punisher season 1. Can anybody guess? Because I still got a good laugh out of this. Like the date, I still remember the exact date that season 1 dropped on Netflix, and they kind of kept that. I don't think they revealed it until like the very last minute. Anybody want to take a guess? Like the date? It was in 2017. What was the date? What was the date they dropped that on? It came out the same day as
Tuesday.
No, no. For Frank Castle, it was Tuesday. just like for M. Bison. No, it came out the
Okay,
exact.
Brad, you're killing me, man.
No, that's
You're
that
not
movie.
using the
That
dad
movie.
jokes. Or you're just.
No, I will not tolerate disrespect for Raul Julia's M. Bison. That's the greatest performance in all of filmmaking, all of acting, indeed all of fiction and storytelling, bar none. But anyway, season 1 of The Punisher premiered on Netflix November 17th, 2017, the same day as Justice League, the theatrical cut. So, now, I don't think that's like they were like that wasn't like a they were like expecting they were like pull like huge audiences away from that. I mean, it's like you drop a show same time as a movie. I mean, that's not gonna like hurt your bottom line any. But again, season 1, I always get chuckles like it came out the same day as the bullshit version of Justice League, as I call it. Actually, William, also speaking of Punisher, like how would you rank the live action Punishers you've had so far? I don't mean necessarily like the
I
movies and shows.
don't regard the other ones, but Barenthal. The other ones were not good.
Oh, dude, Warzone. No, Warzone was awesome.
You're asking a comic book guy how they relate and how they match up against the comic book character, not whether you thought it was a great performance or not. That's two different questions.
Well, that's what I was asking. It's like, how would you like, just like how would you rank them? Like John Bernthal, Thomas Jane, Ray Stevenson.
I stopped with John Bernthal. I'm not saying that those guys did bad jobs, but as I identify with the character, those weren't the Punisher Barenthal was.
So, Brad, just curious, how much of your writing gets on the cutting room floor?
You mean as far as like the length of an art? Oh, listen, man.
Editing.
Oh, well, I mean, what kind of? It depends. Actually, it depends on what I'm writing, and it depends actually a lot of times on which outlet I'm writing for. Like with Fortress of Solitude, it's like lately, and I need. Yeah, I've been the kind of it's those are some of my longest ones lately. Is the ones I write on Fortress because I just for whatever reason I just really get the chance to just really just kind of pour my thoughts on like really like big topics that I got in my head on that. So yes, but even then it's like for as long as those have been, and William, anyone who's read them, William has said it's like, oh yeah, you like reading it, but it's like those last couple I've written for like the Justice League watch along and whatnot, or other related topics too. Is like, yeah, those are great. Those are well done, Brad, but they're also really long. I took a lot of fat out of those, so they could have been longer. Usually, though,
so you're your own editor?
No. Well, no, I'm not my own. I'm not my own editor. Like once I turn it in, then it's like then someone editorial is doing, is editing it from there and getting it, kind of just making sure everything's in place, basically. But I mean, if you're writing, of course, you're also you're spell checking, you're making sure everything's organized, you're make sure whatever hyperlinks, what backlinks you want to have are in place. So, but yeah, it's like that's really for me personally, it's like I find is like my biggest not necessarily fault as a writer or fault as a journalist, but it's something I try to work on a lot lately. Where it's like I really would like to like get my thoughts more compact on a lot of things.
Even in most conversations, you're very verbose.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. But that's where I feel like that's one area I kind of want to like again, it's like tighten things up a little bit more. Maybe that's my New Year's resolution, like professionally speaking, this year is it's not like get to the point because I feel like I get the point just fine, but it's like okay, but people don't have to like it doesn't have to feel like going on a trip to the land of Oz, right? An article I wrote, so even though again like a lot of the ones I've written on Fortress that are DC and Snyder related, I kind of feel like those I think really justified like the length I had because those are very very comprehensive and very kind of like expansive and like reaching back in time on a lot of things as well to give current things context. When I write something that's like a straight up news piece, and it's like those are usually pretty compact because it's like, hey, this happened or this quote came out. It's 500-600 words usually because does a trick on that. Features, can be again, that can kind of run the gamut in terms of length. It could be, you can get like a nice tight 700 to 1,000, or sometimes it comes in at 2,000, and especially if they're list ones, those tend to be pretty. Those tend to be a little bit longer too. So to answer that question, yeah, I I write long ones. I write short ones, and that's I try. My goal this year is, I think probably is to kind of like find a little bit more middle ground, because I feel like there's a lot of looking at a lot of my own work, I feel like there's nothing in between on that. It's like it's either I'm just like taking you down a rabbit hole, or it's I'm just like giving you like a real like quick like here's the info. I want to try like kind of like again kind of like find the happy medium between those two a little bit better this year. That's kind of my New Year's personal professional life resolution. And like even that, me saying all that was pretty long winded. So you get what I'm saying there. It's like I once I start going on a topic, I can tend to ramble a little bit, because I try to I
Well,
try
yes,
to leave no
that's
stone
why I
unturned.
said you're very verbose.
What my dad, when I first started kind of doing all this, it was about almost 12 years ago now, and this really kind of when I started with KFK, and then that was like the beginning of, well, I started with my college newspaper. That kind of like planted the seeds of this being a professional thing for me. But KFK, that's what really kind of set it in motion. Then it really took off when I started Screen Rant. But my dad, I remember when he first started reading a lot of my work, he said, "Yeah, you leave no stone unturned on these things." It's like, yeah, I try to like hit every possible angle of the angle I'm taking. So I don't know. Sometimes like, do I need to like take an article, like split into multiple articles? Maybe, I don't know. But I mean,
So you subscribe to the Frank Herbert school of writing?
yeah, I guess you could say that. Maybe that's why people keep telling me I should write a book, because I've had people, quite a few actually, like read my work on various different outlets I've been with, and said like, yeah, Brad, you need to write a book. You need to like find a topic, whether it's fiction or whether it's like a breakdown on a lot of these things. You need to find like a topic and write a book on this. It's like, because you can get like a few hundred pages out of this. So yeah, I just need to get off my ass and do that. But before I do that, I'm gonna watch Daredevil in this awesome fight scene here. These are called Eskrima sticks. So they're also called Kali sticks that they're using. These are very much associated with Filipino martial arts. I think actually, my understanding is that Scott Glenn himself is actually he's what is he a practitioner of? He's a practitioner of like it was it Salat, or it was Salat, or it was like a Native American knife fighting or something. I need to Google that again. It's like, but he's actually fairly well versed in terms of like a stick and knife fighting. You think where you pretend not to sleep? Yeah, that's meditating. God, it's Scott Glenn. He is almost as old now as Stick is in the. He's about 86 now. Well, okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe that's in dispute. His Wikipedia says born between 38 and 42. So I guess that means he's either 83 or 80. My math. That's like I would be 83 or again almost about 86 or 87. So yeah, he's about at this point he's about the same age as Stick.
Hey, William, if you don't see me mute after I'm done talking, go ahead and mute me.
Okay. We have a commercial. So I will let you guys know who are watching later on. That is the last commercial break of this episode, by the way. So you can hit pause if you're not watching commercials, and I'll let you know what the timestamp is.
I don't know. Bill's a little bit more. Bill has a sense of humor, though. So. And I can see what you're saying there, though, Aaron. It's like, yeah, yeah, I can see a little bit of the like connective tissue.
This episode reminded me of the song from Team America World Police. We need a montage.
All right, we are resuming again at 41:30 in 3, 2, 1, resume.
That was pleasant to hear, Brad.
Yeah, just clear my throat, man.
What's even funnier is he muted after he did that.
Nice catching up. Does Kingpin have OCD? I think this version definitely does.
Are you at the next episode now?
No. I got about 5 minutes left of this one.
Brad, I don't think the Kingpin is OCD. And I'll expound upon my theory once the next episode airs.
And here we have, of course, our first look at the Chased on Daredevil. And by the way, William, I was like, who is this character? Is Stone, right, from the Stick?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they ever show him like this is about it for what we see of Stone, or they don't show a lot of the Chase actually. I mean, it's basically Stick, again, Daredevil, reluctantly affiliated. There's a Shaft who's shown on Defenders, and again, I think that's about it.
All right, that is it for episode 7, titled Stick. It is time to move on to episode 8, and that is Shadow in the Glass. All right, so the byline is Fisk Worlds turns out of control. So let me get to this first commercial, then we'll start. All right, here we go. We are starting at all zeros. And we're going, this episode is 54 minutes, 24 seconds. I have commercial breaks, so just to let you guys know at 8:52, 2010, 35:03, and 46:39. But I'll let you know when those come up. All right, count of 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and play.
some food porn there. It's a good looking omelet. And how much money do you think Fisk makes? like annual salary? I mean, this is like before,
Probably a billionaire plus.
yeah. This is before like
That's the most fantastical part of the show. Him cooking food for himself.
Yeah.
If I was a billionaire, I would never cook for myself.
Well, Fisk ain't your average billionaire. Yeah, what would you put like William, like comics wise, and also compared to the show? Like, what would you put like Fisk? How much would you say Fisk weighs? I mean, comics, he's got to be north of 300.
He's 500 pounds, I believe, in the comics.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah, because muscle. Remember, muscle
Yeah,
is
that's true. Yeah.
denser than fat, so none of it's fat.
Yeah, he's probably on the show. He's probably like 270, 280. And no Daredevil. What is this Hell's Kitchen? It's my baby sis with comedy. We're both hilarious. That's why we. It's. I mean, it's just it's so clear.
It's clear you're unhinged about it, but
unhinged. Nothing.
450 pounds.
450. Yeah.
And he's
That's
6'7".
No, okay, so
that's not canonical because Vincent D'Onofrio is not that tall.
No, I'm talking about canonical comics wise. Yeah, D'Onofrio, he looks like he's probably about 6'3".
I don't know how that was. I was going to bring that up before. But I mean, he looks kind of normal-ish. He doesn't look abnormal like the comics does.
Well, again, comics, again, it's his appearance is very deceptive in the comics, where it's like to the naked eye, like he looks like he's morbidly obese, but it's like no, he's just built his muscle up to just a absurd size.
Right. That's the point I'm making. He doesn't look like that in this series. This series, he looks kind of normal.
Well, I mean, but yeah, it's kind of hard to pull that off too, in live action, like somebody who like the Kingpin. I mean, it's like you basically would
pull it off with enough makeup.
You basically would need like a power lifter.
Or you need CG. You'd have to do it CGI, especially when he fights, because he fights fast.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing where they do that's something I find that's kind of a reinvention of the Kingpin on the shows, because the Kingpin is like he's very much like Daredevil. He's he's a very trained fighter. He's basically particularly skilled. He's known for being basically a sumo wrestler in the comics, and the way they portray him on the show is that he's more just kind of like, it's not really, he doesn't have like fighting skill. He's just kind of just fights just blind rage. No pun intended. But like the way, Clint, like the way they draw Kingpin in the Spider-Verse movies, that's actually not that far off from like how he looks in the comics. The only difference is like, I mean, he kind of has his head like here and his shoulders up here, so it's like that's a little bit exaggerated.
The one that you see in the Spider-Verse is Bill Sikowitz version of him.
Kingpin is a foodie. Who would have thought? I wonder if he's one of those people who takes pictures of foodies in a restaurant. See that?
Are they at the mirror scene yet?
No.
That scene was real good.
All right, commercial. So pause for those of you who are watching or along later. Mayor. He's running for mayor, Aaron. Big Show. Be honest with you, he has the agility. He's 4 inches bigger, and he has the he's 50 pounds heavier, but he has the agility to play him. That would have been a nice choice. But they could have also put a fat suit on D'Onofrio and made him bigger, and he'd have been able to move it just fine.
Well, that's basically what they've done with him, for Born Again.
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit bigger though. I think for Born Again.
He's running for mayor. Actually, he's running for mayor in season 3 too, isn't he? Or he's kind of laying the ground.
He's starting his campaign.
He's laying the groundwork, and then okay, I'll leave it alone.
Dude, another Chick-fil-A commercial. My goodness, I'm hungry now.
By the way, Aaron, this gentleman, Peter Shinkota, he's actually got a movie coming up with Scott Adkins called Death March.
Geez.
So,
I could force choke you sometimes.
I know it wouldn't work. And that one looks really awesome. It's Scott's this British SAS pilot who in World War II crash lands in this Japanese prisoner of war camp, and he's kind of held captive and forced to fight all these martial artists and this.
All right, we are.
It sounds freaking awesome.
Hold on. I gotta think. We are back, and we're going to go to 9:03. 3, 2, 1, play. Brad, check your messages.
I saw that one.
Okay. For those of you watching along, I just put Kingpin's link into there if you want to find out a little bit more about his character and his bio.
Yes, he is. Interviewed 9 times. Kingpin, is he a Republican, a Democrat? I don't think they really specify a party.
He doesn't care. Anyone he can buy.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, yeah, he could. He's he really is kind of embodies a stereotypical sort of conniving Machiavellian politician, where it's he could run, he could structure his campaign on a Republican platform or a Democrat platform, any party. He could adapt to that platform or to the kind of the general framework of what that party is they're what they're known for. He could convincingly embody any a Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. And how's it going, Bell Rev?
To me, Kingpin's in the politics of money and how do I make more?
Power, money and power. That's his that's his motto. Hello, Bell. How you doing?
By the way, Aaron, I really feel like Scott should do something with Bren Foster and Iko Uwais. That'd be really awesome. It'd be real. It sounds almost like you would suggest and tag me in on Twitter. Yes, it would be. So.
Okay. A lot of his ambitions in this show for running for office is going to be played out right here for you guys.
Well, his father was also he was something else, and that's a I think we could probably classify him as an abusive asshole.
Yeah, Kingpin has daddy issues,
Oh yeah,
and he doesn't. He never wants to feel as powerless like that again.
Mega Swiper, I can assure you, I'm about as far away from AA as you can get.
And I'm even further away. So that braille thing is so neat, and not that he needs it, but it's still neat.
Yeah, technically, we paid someone else to shoot him. Yeah, I think that's intentional. I think it's definitely an influence.
All right, I'm at a commercial, so if those of you watching along can pause. I'll let you know when we resume. What are we talking about? What is she? They're damn sure giving me a bunch of commercials about the Disney parks. I think they want me to go.
You ain't rich enough for Disney. I ain't rich enough for Disney.
Man, their prices have gone up. I mean, I know people who are like Disney lifers that have cut back their trips because of the pricing. And it's like, I'm not a Disney guy. I'm not an amusement park guy in general anyway. But yeah, I've heard some people say the same exact thing. Now, it doesn't help that I'm really cheap. I didn't get the Subway thing. Did I miss something? All right, we are back, and our timestamp is 2016. All right, we're gonna get resumed. We have two more commercial breaks, by the way, at 35:10 and 46:46. All right, so resuming in 3, 2, 1, play. It's been a while since I only watched this episode once. Now this has been 9 years since I saw this shit. Oh my god!
Well, almost 10 now.
Because that's some of the stuff I'm like, I've seen it, but it's like it's jarring me because it's been like a decade. Fuck, man, time flies. None of these motherfuckers have aged either, by the way.
Like William says, I mean, Hollywood stars, they don't age like we do, partly because they have resources to avoid that. That's, by the way, Aaron, that's one of my I have two go-to subs.
She's ahead of me. That's why. Okay.
I have two go-to subs. It's either tuna or meatball for me.
Okay. I'm like, what the hell is Aaron talking about? She's like 5 minutes. She's on Aussie time. That'd be suck to have to kill your partner and your friend. That sucks, man. I love the way Daredevil was just there. And that's how he is in the comic. He's just there. That sucks.
That's quite an offer he makes. It's like, okay, you're going to be dead in a couple minutes, but give me the intel and I'll avenge you, basically. It wouldn't be a proper stream unless William Fly showed up. Who wins the fight between the Kingpin and Blob from X-Men?
The Blob.
Yeah. William was a foodie. Yeah.
I forgot. Did he tell him anything before he died?
Unless I missed something.
He didn't, right?
No.
Okay. He's gonna Leland is fucking around, man. Yeah. For those of you who don't know the history of the character, Kingpin got his ass beat. This is legitimate in the comics too. He got his ass beat as a kid. That's why he got into crime. That's why he started weightlifting. He started just becoming, and he did it at such a young age. That's why by the time he was an adult, he was a muscular dude, and he was already big bone to begin with. He's a really big guy, 6'7", 450 pounds. He's a really big dude. His dad doesn't help. This is where the impulse and the violence comes from.
Yeah, and it's kind of in kind of a perverse way, the Kingpin learned a lot from his father.
Yeah, just all the wrong things.
Yeah. I mean, it's a classic case of the apple not falling far from the tree.
But he also doesn't want to be like his dad. He gets these traits from his dad, but he also, throughout the comics, he hated what his dad was. That's why he's always trying to be more controlled.
Well,
that's why you don't see him lose his temper often. And when he does, it's fucking crazy. It's batshit.
Yeah, he does. One that becomes pertinent a little bit here, but yeah, like the biggest lesson he learns from his father, basically. I mean, like what's the way to put it? It's kind of like Jonathan Kent, or it's like the flip side of like Jonathan Kent, or like any like superhero parents.
Yeah, he
Like,
instilled in him values that just weren't the best.
Yeah, he instilled in him. It's like the parents of heroes instill in them the idea that you have to use your gifts to help people, and his father, Fist's father, instilled in him basically like the world is it's survival of the fittest. So basically. It's kill or be killed. It's dog eat dog. Get them before they get you, basically.
Well, Daddy Fisk was installed with him what he has become but he mixed it in with childhood trauma with it, and that's the part that's messing him up.
The fact that he has so much control, and like I said, the thing that makes Wilson Fisk so dangerous is that he's like a simmering pot. But he maintains that scary control. Unless it's Matt Murdock later on, and then he can't make good decisions when it came to that.
Is it at the part where he's telling her a childhood story?
They're just starting the conversation about them speaking each other's language.
That scene really irked me. If everyone can speak every language, let's speak English.
Well, it's a whole juxtaposition, nobody knowing who's listening in on what. All right, commercial. All right, so what you're seeing here when he flips that table, that's consistent with the comics as well. He does not like not being in control of every aspect of what's going on. When he does his schemes, he has to have that kind of power. Even no other hero has messed that up that he has encountered than Daredevil. Daredevil messes that up more than anything, and he gets under his skin because even a guy that he should have every advantage over, he eventually has no advantage. I mean, Kingpin starts making stupid mistakes. Like the mistakes you see him make throughout this first season, he doesn't make those at the beginning of his career. He starts making them when he gets himself involved with Daredevil. So it's kind of a reverse. Have they done it? Another Disney World. I damn sure can't afford to go to Disney World. That's out the question.
I'd never go on a cruise ship ever.
I'm not a cruise. My parents love that shit. I don't see me. I like to be out and about, but not that out and about.
Well, now they're disease-riddled infection
That too.
boats.
All right, we are back, and we are back at 35:18. We are resuming in 3, 2. One more commercial break left, and that's going to be at the 46:42 mark. We are resuming in 3, 2, 1. Play.
Yeah, all those boats are flagged under different nations, so they could pay the crew and everything $300 a month to clean the cabinets.
The cufflinks.
God, I'm really. Oh man, I don't want to spoil what's about to happen, but oh man.
Might as well spoil it. You've been on a spoiling tear all night.
No, let's not. Man, she's hot. She still is to this day. I don't know if she's been in lately, but Wesley's so loyal. He knows what his boss needs.
Oh God, this is
Hold on, just hold on, because let them experience it.
stop. Hammer time.
He had to hit him pretty hard. That first blow had to have been something.
Mm.
He fucks this guy up.
Mhm.
This is
This guy deserved what he got.
his first kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you beat on a woman like that with a belt in front of your son. That's yeah. I had no sympathy for Bill. Bye, Bill.
See ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
Let's get rid of the body. Damn, I love that part. Get the saw. Fuck him. So till death do we part. Till you start whipping me with a belt, motherfucker. And the cool thing about this, she's always envisioned and dreamed of killing them. That's the thing about it. She knew she was ready. That saw. He's like, I dreamt about killing your ass on every night.
By the way, and William knows what I'm talking about when I say this, but let's say this is not the only Kingpin murder in the movie pertaining that his mother has some connection to, let's say. I kept it vague, man.
Spoiler, dude. What? I didn't even know that was. Is that even a word? I know his woodpecker has returned.
One of the 3Ds. Yes, indeed.
All right, I'm out of commercials. The last one for the night.
That's actually a good place to put a commercial when with how this episode ends. Let's leave it at that. Okay, see you there, fourth. Oh yeah.
I really don't know if I'm interrupting a digital staring contest. Alien told. Yeah, watch parties are kind of weird when you're just kind of, I guess, staring at the screen. All right, we are back, and we are back at 46:51. Resuming. 3, 2, 1, play. And for those of you who are watching right now, please like and subscribe, and come over to YouTube and join us here, especially for those of you who are watching on Twitter.
This is very much what the Kingpin. This is his strategy in the comics, everybody. And that is episode 8.
All right, guys, that's it. Lot of ground covered in that episode. Not the best episode of season 1, obviously, but it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely puts a lot of things in place. And then that ending, there you go. All right, that's it. I mean, I liked it. It's been almost 10 years since I saw this episode again, so I was a little bit fuzzy about what happens next because it's been a while, but it brought me back. All right, what did you guys think of the episode before we go?
I think
Go ahead, Clint, since you're the guest.
I was thinking, calling it the pea whipping of Frisk at first, but now that I sat and listened to you and listened to what you were saying about him and what he is, it's more of she saw the weakness in him, a weakness to him, and said, "Hey, if you do this, you get over the weakness."
Yeah,
a weapon your enemies could use against you.
Yeah, she becomes very, very crafty.
Yeah.
I love the woman that plays him, man. She's like
Violet Rare.
Man,
And
55,
also,
55 looking like that. Oh my God.
And also, he's not OCD at all. He's just childhood trauma. Yeah, and a control freak. But OCD is a form of self-love, believing yourself if you don't do things, the world will end because you're that important.
Yeah, it shaped his world for sure. So, Black, go ahead.
Well, Aaron loved it also. Yeah, this is I dig this episode. The fact that the way that it ends, kind of the twist that it ends on, of Kingpin gets out in front of Daredevil and Ben Urich's plot to expose him. Again, that's very true to that's classic Kingpin. It's he's Machiavellian. He knows how to play chess. He knows how to keep his enemies guessing what strings he's pulling. So yeah, I really liked that episode.
Yeah, he's always good about getting in the narrative, but like I said, ultimately Daredevil outmaneuvers him, and if you read the comics, so it ends up being fun. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Please like, subscribe. Once again, I'm running up against another week of weird scheduling, so I don't know where I'll pop up. Just keep your eyes and ears on the alert button, and you'll know when I'm going to drop in on you. And that is it for this morning. Have a good rest of your morning, especially if you're around the world, and I will see you when I see you.
There, guys.